All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to build a little house in After Effects. And what I want to do is build all of the elements of the house, the shape of the house, the door, the windows, all inside of one layer. And so by doing, I can control all of it together. I can animate it together. I can change its position or opacity together. And so I can draw on, make multiple shapes in one layer. Let's look at that. So this is what it's going to look like when we're done, okay? And let's start from scratch. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to choose Close Project, Start from Scratch. And we're going to click New Composition. We're going to use HDTV 1080 29.97, 1920 by 1080. Make the background color black, click OK. And we're going to draw a house. So I'm going to come up here. And we're looking at shapes. Remember, these are shapes. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. I'm going to go up and I'm going to give it a fill. And I'll make my house kind of a brown color. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle that's wider than long, something like that. And then I'm just going to center it. And I'm going to grab my move tool and move it down. Now, let's look at the properties here. So I have the shape layer. It says Contents, and it says Rectangle 1. Now, I always have the transform properties. Anchor point, position, scale, rotation. We're looking at the properties of the rectangle. So I have the properties of the path of the rectangle, the properties of the stroke, and the properties of the fill. So if I go to color, I can click in here and I can change the color of that fill. I can do other things too, right? I can adjust its opacity. So I can literally adjust the opacity in two different places. I could adjust it here under opacity or under transform. All right? Now, what I want to do is create additional shapes inside of this shape layer, right? So I can control them all at the same time. So I'm going to click where it says Contents, and then I'm going to grab my rectangle and draw a door. I'm going to draw the door with the properties of the last shape, and then I'll change the properties. So that was one of the things that tripped me out was that I thought you changed it first, you changed it afterwards. I'm going to draw a little window. Let's change the color of that as well. Right. Let's draw another window on the other side. Okay. Now, let's make a roof. So I'm going to grab the pen tool. I'm going to click, go across, click, come up, click, and then click again. And let's change the color of the roof. And then I can grab my pen tool. I can click on the roof and I can position it where it's perfectly straight. And the reason why we did it this way is if you look here, I can name each one of these elements too, right? There's the door, there's the window, there's the other window, there's the roof. I can collapse that and I can go down to transform and I can animate the whole thing at one time. So I'm going to go to, let's find a second here. And I'm going to start it where it is. So I'll click Position. And then I'll go to the beginning and I'll just drag it off the screen. And have it slide into place, right? Or let's undo that. I'm just clicking the undo button. I can do scale. So I'll have it at its current position. And then I'll go to the beginning. So I left the keyframe at 100% on 1 second. And I'm going to scale it down. And now it's going to like we're moving to it. So the idea is that all of it's one component because it's all in one shape layer, okay? And that'll make your certain projects easier if you have all the elements inside of. You can group them and you can do other things like use the pick whip to assign animations from one layer to another. But this is also a very important thing to understand. It's like I have multiple shapes inside of one layer.